Hi everyone, welcome to this channel and thank you so much for clicking into this video. I'm really glad that you did because I'm really excited to share this practice with you. Today we're doing an intermediate practice to gain flexibility in the shoulders and the hips, but it's also a really great way to release stress and tension and just to drop emotional baggage as well. It's a low to the ground practice with some long hold poses, so by the end of it you'll feel completely blissed out. If you're interested in flexibility training or just incorporating more yoga and mindfulness into your life, please consider subscribing to this channel. I release new videos every week that will help you to do exactly that. And if you want to get more flexible, I recommend that you start with this playlist. If you enjoyed this video at the end, please leave a thumbs up and feel free to leave any feedback or questions in the comments below. Go ahead and get ready. We'll meet back on the mat. We'll begin our practice seated on the mat, so you can find whatever way is most comfortable to sit. And once you're there, you can just close your eyes. Take a moment to loosen up your jaw, relax your shoulders, and lengthen your spine. Once you feel settled, you can start to find your breath wherever it is in your body and observe the sensations that your breath is bringing. As you breathe in, feeling that expansion, and as you breathe out, feeling the deflation. Our focus here is to keep our concentration on our breath. And of course, this is extremely difficult. Within a few seconds, our thoughts will start to invade our concentration. But throughout this yoga practice, we're going to strengthen our concentration. So keep coming back to our breath anytime we notice that our mind is drifting away. And the great thing about yoga is that it really does strengthen those pathways within your brain that gives you more choice and more power within your mind. When we're off the yoga mat, we have a choice between the positive thoughts and the negative thoughts. And of course, our life will be enhanced if we can choose those positive thoughts over the negative thoughts. We put that into practice on the yoga mat by holding the poses, forcing ourselves to be still, to be silent, and to choose our breath over our thoughts. So let's come back to the breath, observing it. And when you notice yourself in a thought, just stop those thoughts, come back to the sensations that you observe within your body. And your mind might start telling you that this is boring or this isn't what you clicked into this video to do. But again, here we're trying to choose the breath over those thoughts. Just a few more cycles. Check in on your jaw again, see if you need to loosen it up. Can you relax your shoulders a little bit more? And can you lengthen your spine a little bit extra? We'll start to make our way into child's pose now. So you might go straight there. You might open your eyes, coming back for a moment. And you can take your knees wide apart, keeping your big toes together. Reach your hands for the front of your mat, and then let your forehead sink down to meet the mat as well. So disturbing our stillness for a moment. Making whatever adjustments you need to make, and once you feel settled, you can drop into that stillness again. We stirred up the body, so in turn we have stirred up the mind. Rising those thoughts again, so just try your best to come back to your breath. Feel your belly expanding, your chest and your throat. And each time you exhale, your body gets a little bit smaller. Within this pose, feeling the sensations that it brings to your physical body, feeling that stretch, and still feeling the sensations of the breath within the body too. Checking in on our thoughts again here, asking yourself the question, do I want to go with my thoughts or do I want to stay with my breath? And the more we practice this on the yoga mat, the more that we're able to make better choices off the yoga mat. When we're in our everyday lives, we often have a choice between the negative thoughts and the positive thoughts. We want to strengthen our ability to choose the positive thoughts. So here we're forcing ourselves to stay and sit with our own mind, but we're also practicing our ability just to give ourselves the choice. And we always have a choice on how we feel. For our last couple of breaths here, see if you can make your body really heavy, dropping your bones into the mat, going a little bit deeper into yourself. When you're ready, you can start to press your finger pads down into the mat. Use an inhalation to pull yourself up. And we'll come in towards tabletop pose. So bring your knees directly below your hips and then walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Coming into puppy pose here, or melting heart pose. We're dropping our chest down towards the mat, bringing the forehead back onto the ground, but keeping the hips directly above the knees. So we really start to feel that stretch across the back of the shoulder blades. And you can always keep a bend in your elbows here, bringing your fingers a little bit closer to your body. And you can do this especially if you feel any numbness or tingling within your fingers. We want to avoid that sensation. So now as we drop into this pose, drop into our stillness. Resisting the urge to fidget, just accepting the sensations that are happening. Now, if this pose is too intense, you can always take a yoga block or some cushions and place them underneath your chest and your forehead just to give you a little bit of extra support. Now take your breath deep into your body. Notice where your mind is. See if you need to take it back to your breath. Make that choice and choose silence for now. Choose your breath. Choose your body. Not whatever thoughts you have. And as you feel the sensations within your shoulders, just know that you're dissolving whatever stress or tension that you might have caught up in there. If you want to take this stretch a little bit further, you can experiment with taking your chin onto the mat. But always, of course, respecting the limitations of the body. Never forcing anything. We'll start to slowly come out of the pose now. So whenever you're ready, you can start to pick yourself back up, walking your hands back towards the body. And then from here, you can come to sit on the mat with your legs out long in front of you. We'll make our way into cow face pose now. So we'll start by bringing our right foot all the way over to the outside of the left hip, as far back as you can comfortably get it. You can stay here in a half shoelace, or if you want to come into the full pose, you can bend your left knee, bringing your left foot over to the outside of your right hip. Once you're there, you can wiggle around for a moment until you can feel both of your sit bones pressing into the mat. Now you can always use yoga blocks or cushions underneath here for a little bit of extra support. We want to try have our knees relatively stacked on top of each other. So once you're feeling settled, we'll take this stretch up into our shoulders as well, coming into the full cow face pose. So you can extend your left arm out in front of you, push it away, and then take it all the way back behind you. Once it won't go back anymore, turn your thumb down, bend your elbow, and try to bring your hand as close up in between your shoulder blades as you can get it. Right hand reaches up for the ceiling. Bend your elbows, and you're either interlocking your fingers here or just reaching your fingers towards each other. If you want to, you can always take a strap and use the strap to bridge the gap between your fingers. So once you're settled, you can start to point your top elbow up towards the ceiling. Bring a little bit of length into your neck so it's nice and long and straight. And you might close your eyes here or just soften your gaze. So staying here for a few minutes in our full cow face pose. It's going to bring a lot of flexibility into your shoulders and your hips. But what we're really focused on here is the mind. So if you think here of a hurricane, how everything is just swirling around rapidly, but in the middle of the hurricane is just pure stillness and calmness. So try to think of yourself like a hurricane here. Lots of sensations stirring within your body. Your mind will start to throw up lots of thoughts. But we want to remain completely calm, focusing instead on our breath, and just let everything else swirl around you. You don't have to get involved in it. Drawing deep breaths in through the nostrils, filling up your belly, filling up your chest, filling up your throat. Exhaling to empty the belly, then the chest, then your throat. And just a few more breaths here, staying in your calmness, being the eye of the storm. When you're ready, you can start to undo the pose, slowly coming back. Hands can come out in front, maybe circling off the shoulders here. And now you can release your legs as well, sending your feet down towards the bottom of the mat. So you might shake off your legs a little bit. And now we're going to take that to the opposite side. So when you're ready, you're bringing your left foot all the way back towards your right hip, staying here, or you can bend your right knee to bring your right foot over towards the outside of your left hip. So again here, adjusting until you can feel your seat bones. And then when you're ready, we're extending our left hand out in front of us. Press it away and take it all the way back. Turn your thumb down, bend your elbow and bring your hand up in between your shoulder blades. Left hand reaches up, bending the elbow, maybe interlocking fingers or just reaching them towards each other, or taking your strap here to help out. Settling into this side, closing your eyes, noticing these new sensations, but just letting them swirl all around you. Keep your stillness within yourself. Find your breath. You might notice a difference within this side. It might be easier or harder, and that's normal. Remember to keep choosing your breath and your body instead of whatever thoughts are being thrown up here. Now, if you need to loosen up your grip here or even undo your grip, that's okay. Just keep your fingers reaching towards each other. Don't give up and don't let your mind win, telling you that it's too hard or you can't do it. We're just staying for 1 or 2 more deep breaths. And now when you're ready, starting to make your way back, undoing your hands, shaking off your shoulders. And then you can undo your legs, give them a little shake off. Now from here we'll come back towards our tabletop pose, so you can swing your feet behind you, bring your wrists directly below your shoulders, knees directly below the hips. We'll bring that deep stretch down into our hips now, coming into lizard pose. So you can walk your hands slightly away from you. We'll start on the right side. You can step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand. This right foot is on a 45-degree angle, so your toes might spill off of the mat here. Wrists again are below the shoulders. So if you need some support under your hands here, you can always take yoga blocks and put them in underneath to create a little platform for yourself. We're keeping our right knee hugging in towards the top of our right arm here. Finding as much stillness as you can. Connecting to your breath again, just feeling it travel in and out of your body. Noticing all of these new sensations stirring up within you. And just let it all swirl around you as you keep your calmness. And this is a very intense stretch, and your mind will try its best to distract you from the intensity. So really just challenging yourself to stay with your breath. Now, if you want to take this pose a little bit further, you might be able to come down onto your forearms here. If your forearms don't make it to the mat, you can have your blocks here again to bridge the distance. Keep that right knee hugging in towards you. And if you've come down onto your forearms and they're not really connecting to the mat, or if it's too intense, don't be afraid to just come back up onto your hands. You'll still get an equally as effective stretch. Take one more big breath in and out here. And when you're ready, we'll start to slowly reverse out of the pose. Wherever you are, just making your way back towards tabletop pose. Right knee back onto the mat. So when you're ready, we'll take that to the left side now. So your left foot steps up to the outside of your left hand. Again, it's on a 45-degree angle, and maybe your back knee comes back so you find your most comfortable stretch here. Wrists are below the shoulders, neck is in line with your spine, left knee is hugging in towards the top of your left arm. So if it feels good to do so, you can close your eyes or just focus your vision on one point and try your best not to let your eyes dart all over the room, because again, that is your mind trying to distract you. We want to try stay as still as we can. We tend to carry a lot of emotion within our hips. So as we stretch here, you might be stirring it up a little bit. And it's always good to get it out of the body, so don't worry if negative emotion is coming up. It's on its way out. So just know that you're dissolving it out of your body now with this pose. You might take a moment here to check in on your jaw again. See if you can release some tension. Relax your facial muscles and just let your body be heavy and still. If you want to take this pose a little bit further, you can come on down onto your forearms here, or if not, just staying here. We're taking our last few breaths now, so make them the best breaths that you've taken so far, focusing each second on your breath. When you're ready, we'll start to slowly come on back, making our way back this time towards child's pose. So just sitting your hips back down onto your heels, releasing your forehead to the mat. You can take whatever version of child's pose feels best for you. And just let our body process everything that we've done so far. Use your next breath in to lift yourself up. And then we'll end our practice with a yogi squat. So this is the ultimate pose to help you feel grounded and relaxed. And of course, we're going to stretch out the hips again to really gain some more flexibility. So when you're ready, bring the soles of your feet onto the mat. Toes point over towards the edge of the mat, heels are coming in. You might bring the top of your arms to the inside of your knees. Palms can come together at your chest, and then gently press your elbows against your knees to widen them a little bit more. Point your tailbone towards the mat, extend the crown of your head towards the ceiling, lengthening your spine. And either focusing your vision on one point or closing your eyes here. letting all of the negative energy just drain out of your body here. Deep breaths in to expand your belly and expand your chest. And nice, slow, controlled breaths out. We're only staying for a few more breaths. Taking the time just to thank yourself for practicing today, for showing up and getting onto your mat. One more big breath here. And as you exhale, you can bring your fingertips back onto the mat. Release yourself from the pose. And you can just come to sit again on the mat in your most comfortable seat. Once you're settled, you can close your eyes or relax your gaze. Coming full circle now back to where we started. You might bring your palms together at your chest. Bow your head towards your heart. Form that connection to your breath again. Notice where your mind is and try to take it back. You might notice a difference within your body and your mind since we were here at the start of our practice. Noticing how it's easier now to take your mind back, how your body feels more open and loose. So just know that you have strengthened both body and mind with this practice. And as you take life off the yoga mat, you will be stronger with the choices you make, being able to choose those positive thoughts over the negative ones. So thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, namaste.